we have made it to almost the end of the first month of 2024, and I wanted to share with you the books that I picked up this month and also share with you some of the puzzles that I picked up this month. Now, if you remember at the very beginning of the month, I talked about my book goals, and one of my goals was not to purchase more books than I read, so I wanted to end the year with at least one less owned unread book than what I had to start with. So I thought it was a really good idea. I thought it would help me, not that I was buying indiscriminately, but I thought that it would really help me narrow it down to only picking the things that I knew that I was gonna love, that I knew that I had to have on my shelves. That's not exactly what happened, because I realized I do that anyway. Like I certainly don't buy things that I don't want. I certainly don't buy things that I don't want to read. The issue is that it's affecting what I'm reading. So if you remember in the TBR behind me, it's still on the shelf. I have Fragile Threads of Power on the shelf, and about a week ago, I wanted to read that. That was what I was hoping would be the next thing. And what stopped me was the fact that it was over 600 pages. And I thought, if I read this, I'm not going to read as many books, and it's going to mess with my numbers of reading things that I already own. The other thing is I like to do at least one reread a month, as you know, if you watch my TBRs. And rereads don't count because they're not unread books that I own. So it's, again, not taking something off the owned and unread list so that I can replace it with getting some new things. So I'm rethinking that goal. I still would like to stay around the same area, but I'm not going to be as strict about it, especially to the reading side. If I want to reread something, I'm going to reread something, and I'm fine with it. If I end up going over that month, that's okay. So all of that said, so the goals are going to change, but I do want to share with you the few things. I didn't pick up a lot, mostly because if you remember, and totally after this video, not before I'm over, but after this video, go back and watch that because they were amazing, amazing books. But the 5 picks that I got from Book of the Month at the beginning of January were all books that released at some point over the course of this month. And I think there might be one in there that releases next week. So I already had a lot of the things that I was looking for. So here is what else I picked up to go along with those. First, I went with a friend and we saw the film American Fiction, and it was brilliant. If you have not seen it, go and see it. It's a commentary on the writing world, on the publishing genre in general. It's so good. And at the end, they mentioned that it was based on a book. And of course, I had to get it. So we left the theater. I drove around to the Barnes & Noble and picked it up. So the book American Fiction is based on is called Erasure by Percival Everett. And they only had paperback, and I wasn't pausing. I just grabbed what they had. If I end up super loving it, I think you know me well enough to know I'll try to find a hardcover. But let me tell you what it's about. And this, if you haven't seen the movie, this description follows the movie almost perfectly. Thelonious Monk Ellison's writing career has bottomed out. His latest manuscript has been rejected by 17 publishers, which stings all the more because his previous novels had been critically acclaimed. He seethes on the sidelines of the literary establishment as he watches the meteoric success of Weeze Lives in the Ghetto, a first novel by a woman who once visited some relatives in Harlem for a couple of days. Meanwhile, Monk struggles with real family tragedies. His aged mother is fast succumbing to Alzheimer's, and he still grapples with the reverberations of his father's suicide 7 years before. In his rage and despair, Monk dashes off a novel meant to be an indictment of Juanita Mae Jenkins' bestseller. He doesn't intend for My Pathology to be published, let alone taken seriously. But it is, under the pseudonym Stagg R. Lee. And soon it becomes the next big thing. How Monk deals with the personal and professional fallout galvanizes this audacious, hysterical, and quietly devastating novel. I can't wait. I'm kind of glad I didn't know the movie was based on a book, because I would have not seen the movie so that I could read this first. I loved the movie. I loved seeing it in theaters. And so I still know that I'm gonna love this, and I cannot. This very well will probably be on my February TBR. The next thing I picked up is definitely going on my February TBR, because it is the book for my mystery book club that I am part of at my local independent bookstore. And the book is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. And again, I just went ahead and got the paperback. Mysteries, I'm not a big horror person. Mystery horror, as much as I loved The Sundown Motel, it is probably my favorite horror book of all time, in part because it's a mystery with a horror element and supernatural element to it. But unless I love this that much, I'm going to be okay with it being paperback. I don't tend to reread that kind of thing, so I don't need it to, last in perpetuity on my shelves. But here's what this one's about. In 1977, Clear Lake, Oregon was shaken by the Lady Killer murders. Two men, seemingly random, were murdered with the same gun, with strange notes left behind. Beth Greer was the perfect suspect, a rich, eccentric 23-year-old woman seen fleeing one of the crime scenes. But she was acquitted, and she retreated to the isolation of her mansion. Oregon, 2017. Shea Collins is a receptionist, but by night she runs a true crime website, The Book of Cold Cases. A passion fueled by the attempted abduction she escaped as a child. When she meets Beth by chance, Shea asks her for an interview. To Shea's surprise, Beth says yes. They meet regularly at Beth's mansion, though Shea is never comfortable there. Items move when she's not looking, and she could swear she'd seen a girl outside the window. The allure of learning the truth about the case from the smart, charming Beth is too much to resist. But even as they grow closer, Shea senses something isn't right. Is she making friends with a manipulative murderer? Or are there other dangers lurking in the darkness of the Greer house? So there's a bit of that reminds me of The Only One Left, description-wise, but I know that Simone St. James and Riley Sager, their writing is not similar at all, so I don't expect this to be anything like that one, but I'm hoping that I like it enough to have a lot to talk about, and then I end up loving things when I get out of book club, because we have so much fun. I'm about to shock you. I bought a romance. I know I don't read a lot of them. I'm really picky. I have problems with some of the tropes that exist in romance, and yet I am forever the optimist. And so I grabbed Say You'll Be Mine by Naina Kumar. And this actually did not even come out in hardcover from what I understand. It released in this month, and they only had it available in paperback. So let's see. I think this is a romance that I'm gonna like. We'll see. Magna Raman defied her parents' wishes and followed her life's passion, becoming a theater teacher and an aspiring playwright. When she discovers that her beloved writing partner, best friend, and secret crush, Seth, is engaged, and not to her, she realizes that he's about to become the one that got away. Even worse, he's asked her to be his best man. And even worse than that, she's agreed. Determined to move on, Magna agrees to let her parents introduce her to a potential match. Maybe she could marry the engineer that her parents still wish she'd become. Grumpy engineer, Karthik Murthy, has seen enough of his parents' relationship to know that marriage is not for him. To make his mother happy, though, he's agreed to her matchmaking attempts, never dreaming that he would meet someone as vibrant as Magna. He can't offer her anything real, but a fake engagement might help her soothe the sting of planning Seth's wedding festivities, and also help Karthik avoid the absurd number of setups his mother has planned for him. As the two find common ground, grow protective of each other's hearts, and start to fall for the traits they originally thought they hated, an undeniable chemistry emerges. But soon, their expectations and insecurities threaten something that's become a lot more real than they planned. Does that not sound adorable? I'm so hopeful. I'm so like excited and hopeful for this, and I really can't wait to give it a try. So one thing that I love to do at my Barnes & Noble is do buy online, pick up in store, in part because it's a better price. I don't know why. If I walk in and get the book myself off the shelf and go to the front counter, it's one price. But if I order it online and then go in and pick it up at the front counter, but someone else who works there had to go get it for me, it's actually less expensive. It's a thing. It's normally not a lot less expensive. Sometimes it's $1, or most of the times it's like $1, but it's a little bit, and it adds up over time. So I always do the order online, pick up in store, then I don't have to worry. And I'm so glad I did. That was a long story to say this. When I got there, I had ordered these before they even opened. I ordered it before I even left for work so that I could pick it up right after. And the worker told me that they had already sold out, that people have been coming in droves looking for this. And I was lucky that I had them pull it so early in the morning, or it wouldn't have been there. And it is the follow-up to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And it is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. And I know what you're thinking. Didn't you just get that other book and you haven't read it yet? And that is true. And yet, this came out, and again, super, super glad I got it on the day it released, even though I haven't read the first one. I know that this is cozy fantasy. I'm not going to read the back because I haven't read the first one, and I don't want to spoil anything for you if you also haven't read the first one. But from everything I understand, it's amazing. They're amazing. These books are amazing. And they're not by Emily Wilde. Even the guy at the bookstore thought it was by Emily Wilde. The author's name is Heather Fawcett. And it again has no book jacket. Like, the art is actually on the cover. And cozy fantasy, some fairies, some stuff and things. I'm so excited. Sorry I'm not telling you more if you really want more, but I don't want to spoil things for folks who haven't read the first one, including myself. So I've got it, and these are going to be coming up much sooner than later. The next thing that I picked up this month, I am so excited for. I've actually been wanting to tear into these, but I wanted to show them to you first. Back at the beginning of the month, I got an email from Puzzles of Color with a 2024 discount code. So if you ordered 3 puzzles, you got 24% off. So first off, in case it wasn't clear, obviously I bought those books, and I bought all of these puzzles. These companies and these puzzle makers don't know that I make videos. Nobody sent me anything. Nothing's been gifted. Nothing obviously is sponsored. I'm just sharing with you stuff that I like. Shipping was super fast. I can't talk to you about anything inside the box because I haven't opened them yet. But let me show you what came in the box. They sent me a sticker. Look how cute is that? Every day I'm puzzling. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it yet. It's so cute though. I don't want to waste it, but I love that. They also sent in the box a thank you postcard. Check that art. I didn't get it, but there is a puzzle of this woman that they have that is like, is high on the list. I want to try these before I order more, but it is way up high on the list. So I'm not going to show you the back, but this Puzzles of Color is a Black-owned, woman-led, family-operated company, and it's at Puzzles of Color on social media, and the website is puzzlesofcolor.com if you are interested in any of these or any other stuff that they have. I've heard nothing but amazing things, and y'all gonna love me. If you didn't know these existed, you're all gonna love me. Check this artwork. How beautiful. Okay, I gotta hide. I wanna look at it. I gotta hide my hell. So this puzzle is called Priceless, and the artist is Melrick Steele, and it was inspired by a photograph of the artist and his son. And I can't wait to do this puzzle. Look at how It's so pretty. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. I'm not one who puts puzzles together and hangs them on the wall, but this might end up there because I love this. It is beautiful. And if you are interested in the puzzle quality and hearing about my experience doing these puzzles, leave me a comment down below. Again, this is called Priceless. And I think it is, and how adorable. Melrick Steele is the artist, and company is Puzzles of Color. The second puzzle I got in this set is this one. It is called Migration Westbound, and the artist is Joseph Watson. This one is a 1,000-piece set, and I think it's gonna be hard. Skies for me are really hard. But golly, look how beautiful that is. Oh, I just love this. I did it's not a sealed box. So I opened the box and it does have also a nice big poster of the image. So we've got the image on the cover and an image of the poster. The pieces look great, but I'm not gonna open that plastic to feel those. So, oh my gosh, y'all, I am so excited for these. I'm excited for the books, I'm excited for the puzzles. Why do I have to have a job? I would much rather just read and do puzzles, and I also play The Sims, but I don't think anybody wants to watch me play The Sims on YouTube. So we'll leave that totally out of Rose at Home, but I digress. The third puzzle that I got for that special price is called Pachanga Family. Look at those colors. I'm gonna love this. This is a 500-piece puzzle, and it is by, the artist is Mariell Guzman. And look at that. This is gonna be so fun. I like sections of color. I like being able to break things up like that. This will be, because I'm trying to do casual puzzling and dip my toes in some speed puzzling, and so this would be a fun one to get to practice with. So I am all about it. The back of the box also has like artist information and stuff if you're interested. So again, I'm not sponsored. They're not paying me. My light is messed up. I'm not sponsored. Nobody's paying me. They don't know that I'm making this. I'll tag them. Hi, if you're watching. I'm so excited about your puzzles. Thank y'all so much for making these beautiful things. But like, I don't even have like anything I can give you other than to tell you, check them out. I also took advantage of a sale on the Puzzledly website, and they get things from multiple companies, and so you can buy from different companies all in the same place. So I got 2 other puzzles from companies that I've not tried before, but I'm interested in. And the first one, and especially all my readers, I think even if you're not necessarily like big on puzzles, I think you will like this. This is called Cozy Nook by Reverie. Cozy Nook by Reverie. And here's what's cool. Reverie Puzzles are all book related. They're all images of people reading, of women and girls reading. Here she's drawing in the book. There's books all around. I would love to be in this room. It's cool. Oh, you can't even see it, the glare. Like there's books all around here. So even on the back it says, our book themed puzzles feature 1,000 sturdy pieces with a matte finished enclosed in a reusable drawstring bag, which I didn't even realize I got that too. So it was hard to pick. And I was like, I just want to try one. Which one do I want? And so I thought this one has the most distinct sections, and I like distinct sections. So I went with this one. I will let you know what I thought. If you are interested, again, just let me know in the comments. I'm not leaving books. I'm not becoming a puzzle channel. I'm Rose at Home. I'm all sorts of stuff that we do at home. So anyway, let me know. The next puzzle I want to show you is from a company called Eeboo. A lot of people who do puzzle things on YouTube talk about Eeboo and show their puzzles, but this was just an us thing, and I thought you would love it as much as me because it is called Women Reading. Oh, and it says artists playlist included, which I don't even know what that means, but the company is Eeboo. Let me see. I don't think it has the artist name on here. I'm triple checking. Yeah, there's no artist name on here, but their stuff is just adorable. I love this kind of art style for puzzles. Let me show you. So it's all vignettes of women reading. And if anything is perfect for me, it is women reading. And so I picked that up as part of Puzzled Lee's. It was like a buy 3 sale, I think. And I got something else, but it wasn't really book related, so I didn't share that. So I'm super excited about branching out. I hope that adding extra to the channel doesn't turn any of you off. I understand that that might happen, and I'm emotionally prepared for that. But hopefully, I feel like a lot of people who like to read also like puzzles, and so a little smattering of that being like a subgenre for my channel, I feel like would fit with you. And I hope that that's the case, and I hope that you thought these puzzles were as beautiful and as wonderful or as cute with the women reading as I did. But in the meantime, I really hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your week, and I hope that you get to read some really amazing books and maybe do a fun puzzle or two. Bye, y'all.